Hello friends, Miss Brown here. I had the most wonderful idea. I think it's time that you listen to a chapter book, but not just any chapter book, a book about Lulu and a Brontosaurus. Do you know what a Brontosaurus is? A Brontosaurus is a dinosaur. This book is Lulu and the Brontosaurus by Judith Viorst. I'm so excited to jump into this with you. I will be reading the first 4 chapters of this book, and I'm trying to see if you can follow along with the chapter book. Let's see how you do. Oh, I forgot something. What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting to tell you to do? The listening ears. Make sure your listening ears are on. Thank you to the friends that were reminding me through the screen. Yes, turn on your listening ears. Now we're ready. Chapter 1. There once was a girl named Lulu, and she was a pain. She wasn't a pain in the elbow. She wasn't a pain in the knee. She was a pain, a very big pain in the bottom. Now, Lulu was an only child, and her mom and her dad gave her everything she wanted. And guess what? Lulu wanted everything. Tons of candy, tons of toys, tons of watching, tons of cartoons on TV. And if her mom and her dad ever said, and they hardly ever said it, "Sorry, darling, we think you've had enough," Lulu would screech till the light bulbs burst and throw herself down on the floor, and then she would kick her heels and wave her arms, and pretty soon her mom and dad would just say, "Well, just this once," and let her have whatever it is she wanted. Chapter 2. 2 weeks before Lulu's birthday, she announced to her mom and her dad that she wanted a Brontosaurus for her B-Day present. What did she say? What? A Brontosaurus? Yes, she wanted a Brontosaurus for a pet. At first, Lulu's mom and her dad just thought she was making a little joke, and then they saw, oh horrors, that she was serious. They patiently explained that a Brontosaurus is a quite enormous dinosaur who lives in forests, not in people's houses. Is that where Brontosaurus would live? In a forest? I'm afraid that I'm not absolutely sure, but since I'm the person writing the story, I'm putting this Brontosaurus in a forest along with a lot of other wild beasts that I'm absolutely sure did not live on Earth when dinosaurs were there. Anyway, Lulu's mom and her dad continued explaining to her, although a Brontosaurus is into eating plants, not animals, including human animals like Lulu, and although it is cute in a long-necked, pin-headed way, it is much too huge and too wild to be a good pet. A dog, a cat, a goldfish, a bird, a gerbil, a guinea pig, yes. A Brontosaurus, definitely no. Chapter 3. No. Her mom and her dad was telling Lulu no? Lulu wasn't used to hearing no, and she really hated hearing no. To show how much she hated it, she screeched and screeched and screeched till all the light bulbs in the living room burst. "I want a Brontosaurus for my birthday present," she said in between the screeches. "I want a Brontosaurus for a pet." "Well, maybe we could get you a nice pet rabbit," said her mother. "Or even," said her dad, "a nice pet rat." No, screeched Lulu. "I want a Brontosaurus for a pet." Then she threw herself down on the floor and kicked her heels and waved her arms and screeched some more. Oh, there she is, on the floor. Chapter 4. 4 days. 8 days, 10 days, 12 days passed. Lulu kept saying, I want a Brontosaurus. Her mom and her dad just kept on saying no. Lulu kept screeching and throwing herself onto the floor and kicking her heels and waving her arms. Lulu's mom and her dad kept saying no until finally on the 13th day, the day before Lulu's birthday, right after lunch, Lulu said to her mom and her dad, okay then, foo on you. She had terrible manners. If you aren't going to give me a Brontosaurus, I'm going out and getting one for myself. Lulu packed a small suitcase, said goodbye to her mom and her dad, and walked out the door. And they let her go, partly because they thought she'd change her mind and come running back home in about 2 minutes, and partly because it was nice to not have her screeching and kicking and waving and being a pain. Let's have a cup of tea and a couple of cookies, Lulu's mom said to her dad. Excellent idea, her dad replied. So they went into the kitchen and started munching on some cookies and sipping tea, and pretty soon they'd forgotten all about Lulu. All right, that concludes chapter 4. If you've enjoyed listening to the first 4 chapters of Lulu and the Brontosaurus, let me know. I'll keep going. I'll finish reading the book, but you gotta let me know. Leave it in the comments, or of course you can send me a message if you're on any of my other social media accounts. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about Lulu. Oh, what do you think about Lulu? What do you think about her character? Do you like Lulu? Do you not like Lulu? If you like Lulu, why do you like Lulu? What things does she do that you love? If you don't like Lulu, what don't you like about Lulu? What things does she do that you don't like? Share it with your grown-up. They would love to hear from you. Well, that's all I have for today. Ms. Brown, over and out. Until next time, bye-bye.